is that they feel like they're nagging if they follow up. They don't want to be a bother. So sometimes they just don't do it. So in this video, I want to talk about real quick when to follow up and how to ensure that you do get a response. Hi there, Jodie Bentley here, actor, producer, branding coach, and career coach for actors. And today, I want to talk about follow-up. Now look, we get to follow up. We do. And I think sometimes, and I hear this from a lot of my clients, which is what they work through in our coaching, is that they feel like they're nagging if they follow up. They don't want to be a bother. So sometimes they just don't do it. Now, on the flip side of that, sometimes people do follow up, but they follow up once and then they don't hear anything, so they let it go and never follow up again. So the fortune is in the follow-up. We've heard this. So in this video, I want to talk about real quick when to follow up and how to ensure that you do get a response. Now, first and foremost, in any follow-up that you're doing, we want to have clear and concise subject lines. So I had a client recently who was in my membership, and she hadn't heard from her agent in a while. So I had invited her to craft an email to update them on what had been going on, and she had a couple questions that she wanted to ask. So we crafted that email. And then we had another coaching session and in the membership, and she came and said, hey, I sent that email and I never heard back. And I said, well, did you follow up? And she said, no. I said, well, when did you send that email? And she said, a couple weeks ago. And I said, okay, well, let's dial this back. Let's examine this. So she had crafted the email that she wanted to send. However, her subject line was something simple like hello, or checking in, or something like that. And I said, okay, look, in order to ensure that your email gets opened, I really invite you to get super clear and concise and specific in your subject line. So if I was sending something to my agent or manager that had updates of what I had been doing, I might write non-urgent, updating you on my casting director relationships. Right, so they know it's not in a response to an audition. They don't need to respond right away. We gotta, respect the agents and managers' time, because they're obviously busy responding to lots of things, and hopefully pitching you and closing deals and all that stuff. So I would write, like non-urgent, updating you on my relationships over the past few weeks, updating you on relationships I'm cultivating, updating you on other auditions I've had. Something, updating you on the meeting I had with this writer, right? It could be anything, but I would be really clear in the subject line, not just checking in, hello, wanted you to know, like that stuff can fall through the cracks. So to that end, especially if you're pitching to agents or managers, we want that subject line to be clear, concise, and compelling. Right? Especially when you're doing, I coach and train people in my membership on an 8-week agent campaign. So when you're doing that, we really want our subject lines to be clear, concise, and compelling, right? And not just, looking for new rap, whatever, 30-something actor looking for new representation in Los Angeles, whatever it is, that's too vague and non-specific, right? So if you want to be following up, you want to be getting their attention, you want to get a response on your emails, I really invite you to have very clear, concise, and specific subject lines. And the other thing is the follow-up. So my client has said she sent the email, but then she waited 2 weeks and took no action when she heard nothing. So I really live by the rule of thumb that we can follow up 5 to 7 days. So if you send out an email and you don't hear anything, follow up again. Reply to the same email that you sent and say, hey, just wanted to bump this to the top of your inbox. I'm sure you've been busy. Looking forward to your response, or looking forward to connecting, whatever, right? Whatever you had requested or asked in the email. So of course you're going to follow up. right? But I think we get all like, oh God, what am I doing? Why am I reaching out again? They're going to hate me. What do I do? Right? We get caught up in that emotion, which is all this bullshit stories that we tell ourselves, as opposed to telling ourselves, you know what? People respect people who take action and are persistent and follow through and follow up, because they do. So if you're not doing that, I really invite you to get in the habit to follow up between 5 and 7 days. And you know what's really cool is on Gmail now, you get a little like nudge in your inbox going, hey, you haven't had a response in 5 days. Do you want to nudge them? Gmail's reminding you to follow up. So this is a common thing. Follow up is a common thing. So I invite you to move through the stories that you're telling yourself and make it a rule to follow up within 5 and 7 days if you have not heard from someone when you sent them that email. And the other thing, just want to talk about the email itself real briefly. Make the email really clear to scan, right? If you're writing large, chunky paragraphs, sometimes if I get a long email, I open it, I go, oh God, I don't have time for that right now, and I'll close it. And then new emails come in and that just gets bumped to the bottom, right? So if you're sending someone an email again and you want that response, how can you say what you need to say in the least amount of words? Or how can you say it in a way that I can scan the email through, bullet points or bolding things, or whatever it may be. But let's condense it. I think a lot of times we want to give everyone all the information in an email. That give them what's most important. Give them the most important nuggets and make it easy for them to scan. So first and foremost, follow up, then follow up again, and then follow up again, right? We want to keep following up. You want to keep following up until you get a no. So we want to keep following up. And then remember about clear subject lines, follow up within 5 to 7 days, and really make your email pleasant to the eyes to scan so I can get the gist of it like that. Therefore, I can respond faster. All right, I trust this helps. If you feel like you haven't been following up, let me know in the comments below. If any of this resonates with you, please let me know as well, because you're not alone. We all think these things and we all feel similar stuff as we're navigating this industry. So I trust this helps, and I'll see you soon. Bye.